Okay, what's up everyone? I've been wanting to do this for a while. It's sort of out of fashion these days, but I still like watching these videos, so I thought I would make one myself and share my opinion because I have barely touched this form of content anyway, and I would like to dabble in it. So obviously, this is zombies maps on tier list. Not exactly worst to best or whatever, you know, like if they're putting like decent, that's not like the particular order of them. I just think they're all decent. So let's just start this out with the worst one. The Frozen Dawn is straight in the trash. That map I have had terrible experiences with. I played it on launch night, and I remember, I believe the Easter egg was solved the very same night or the night after, which is why I hate it, because I tried to do it with a friend after it was solved, and then we got some other friends of his involved, and then it just went downhill from there. I think the map aesthetic and the way it looks is great, but the gameplay is terrible. It's the worst zombies map of all time. Worse than Transit and Blood. I just don't like it. Never playing it again. I'm not gonna go in too deep because it's just a whole rabbit hole of just everything that I hate about zombies. So Der Eisendrache. This map I think is easily a god tier. Now, Der Eisendrache, I think everybody knows about it. It's a medieval castle. What else is there to say? There's bows. I think it's I think Origins is slightly better than Der Eisendrache, but they're very similar still. And it's just a very fun map to play with friends, and yeah, it's great. Nuketown, I see a lot of people give Nuketown a lot of shit, and I think it's a great survival map. It adds diversity in the pool of zombies maps, and I think it's definitely unique, and I think that's what makes it great. So moving right along, we have Outbreak from Cold War. I think this is meh, just meh. Outbreak, it just feels so empty to me. It's one of those modes that makes me feel like I'm in like an open world PS2 game where there's nothing to do besides some like stuff that's like obviously planted there. Like what I want from an Outbreak is like a Dark Souls, where you go around doing random objectives, yes, meeting NPCs, fighting bosses, and like I think that is like the perfect mold for an Outbreak. Is and PvP would be awesome too. I think that they should take what Elden Ring has done, and you know, obviously Zombies already has the co-op, so there you go. You can go fight new bosses, old bosses, and then do a bunch of quests and earn rewards. I think that would be awesome. But for now, it is staying meh. The Shadowed Throne, I'm going to put in decent. I think the Shadowed Throne is one of those maps where it's right in the middle. I played it a lot, and it was very prominent for me because I was I think it was during ZWC2, Zombies World Championship 2, when this map came out. So it you know, everybody was playing it because there was like a challenge tied to it for you know, you had to complete a challenge if you wanted to go out to LA and compete in person. So I chose to do the Shadowed Throne. Did not make it, by the way. I don't even remember what it was. I think it was like a round 50 speed run or something like that. Did not do it. But yeah, man, that whole time was like super fun, and definitely one of the maps that I will look back on and maybe not play again. I don't know. The Giant, I think, obviously goes in awesome. It's a great map. It's an awesome map. That would go in the previous tier. It's an awesome map. If you just want to have a good chill time, same with the Reese. I'll probably just put the Reese right next to it. Not much to say about the Giant. It's pretty simple. I think it's most fun when you have your friends and you're up on the catwalk. That's the Giant. Moon. I think Moon goes in meh because I think Black Ops 1 Moon sucks. It absolutely sucks. That's just my opinion, of course, but I think it absolutely blows chunks, dude. Obviously not worse than the Frozen Dawn, but it's just gray and bland, and the Chronicles version was so much better, so much better. And like, as someone who doesn't really like to look up steps and stuff, whenever like the excavators would like close off areas of the map, I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm just stuck here now. I'm not gonna go back to where that's being closed off. So I just never bothered with it. It's just one of those maps I didn't really play a whole ton, and I probably won't. All right, Gorod Krovi. I think this map goes in awesome as well. The map is definitely a great one. It has a very simple layout. It's the Mark III is okay. I wasn't really too much of a fan of it. I thought it was kind of bland when I first played it. But I love the Gauntlet, the Dragon Gauntlet, and like the Dragon Strike. I don't remember what the actual names are, but and like the weapons, it brought back the PPSH obviously and other guns. So like just in terms of like, you know, weapon diversity and choices, and the Dragon Shield and just dragons in general, the map is just awesome. So yeah, oh my lord, Die Rise. I have very little playtime in Die Rise. I'm gonna put it in trash because the map is very bland, a lot like Moon, but worse, because there's just so much clutter and rubble. At least on Moon, you are on the moon, and there's some stuff to do. On Die Rise, I just don't like this map. It's just one of those that I barely play. I will probably never play it again until I think it's Zella. I know Mr. T-Laxify is connected to the remaster, so obviously when that comes out, I'm going to play it. But as far as Black Ops 2 Die Rise, no, never again. So, Nocturne Totem. I feel like this map, you can't really do much with it, so I'm just going to put it right in the middle. It's the first map. I'm not going to say what everybody else says. It's the first map. Voyage of Despair. VOD, man. Voyage of Despair. This map, kind of a lot like Moon, or Die Rise even. I did not learn much of it. Like, I know how to get Pack-a-Punch, and I know how to, I think that's it actually. I've never tried to get the Wonder Weapon or the upgrades for it. It's just one of those maps that, like, at the launch of Black Ops 4, I played a lot of 9 and Classified. I kind of just skipped over this map because I'm like, I think, like, I don't know, it was just like very close and very close quartered, and why would I want to like go for camos and stuff on Voyage if I can get all the bosses done on 9, you know? So I don't know. I don't think I hate it for a lot of the reasons that other people do. I'm not really one for Easter eggs, but I know that quest blows, or is difficult anyway. I never tried it, but what keeps it above trash is the new Easter eggs that have come out. The wacky Easter eggs where you fly around in a car, and I think there's another one, but I don't know what it is. That just barely puts it above trash. So, alright, Zetsubo. I have played maybe one match of this map. I just don't really know what to say about it. Not because, like, you know, oh, he took opinions from somebody else, from some big zombies YouTuber. No, I was just too busy playing the good ones, and like I just never really got around to it. I have it. I played it once or twice, but not enough to know like anything about it. So I'll just keep it, never play it, and move on to Transit. Obviously trash. Obviously. For me, it isn't even fun with friends. A lot of people say that. Not for me. I despise it. I think this map is. I think it's on par with Die Rise. Man, that had to suck to be in the community at that time when these maps were releasing. To have Transit and then Die Rise, and I know a lot of people hated Nuketown too, so that was also in there. But yeah, I mean Transit, just like Noct, what hasn't been said about it. It just sucks. It just sucks. The Tortured Path. All right, here we go, boys. So this is going in trash. I wanted to love this map so much because I always love playing zombies games when developers other than Treyarch are making it, because I like to see new ideas and such. And sometimes Treyarch doesn't listen, and oftentimes actually Sledgehammer or Infinity Ward actually delivers on stuff that the community wants. But this, I wanted to like this. I really did. The only thing that I do like about it is the survival maps that came with it. I never actually beat the Tortured Path. I don't know if I ever will. It's definitely named that for a reason, so I'm just gonna move right along with that. Firebase Z. Firebase Z. I'm gonna put it in decent. I think Firebase Z is definitely overhated. Especially when I'm playing with a buddy of mine, the Skull Basher. He hates this map. I honestly have not even heard a good reason for that. I'm expecting a good reason for that. So this map I think is decent. It kind of has the same problem as all the other Cold War maps, except for like Mauer. I think it's just kind of boring and bland, like D Machine is. But I like the look of the map very much. I just like the setting of Vietnam in video games a lot in general. The Ray-K is okay, I guess. I mean, I actually kind of like the defense rounds. I think it's a cool idea. And would I want it back though? I don't know. Maybe in like Outbreak or something, which they kind of did that. But yeah, just keep it round based to round based. Don't add anything like that in there again. The Darkest Shore. I'm gonna put this in meh, because this was like one of the first maps that I was actually there for on release night, and it's a solidly okay map. There's definitely a lot to hate about it, but I just like World War II, and I like giving it the benefit of the doubt because I just like being an optimist most of the time. So the Darkest Shore, besides the fog and the Meister Moichler, I don't remember what it's called. That boss that like crawls all around, like that thing was really cool at the beginning when I first saw it. Yeah, the saw is really cool. It's just an okay map. Shadows of Evil, obviously God tier. This is my favorite map of all time, Shadows of Evil. I just love this map. The aesthetic is nothing but perfect. This map is just the Call of Duty Zombies map to me. This is the map. It's just perfect, man. God tier. Shangri-La. I'm gonna put it in meh. You know what? I'll put it decent. It's it's a decent map. It's challenging, but it's very beautiful, especially in the Chronicles remaster. Very beautiful. And like for that reason alone is why I play it at all, is because of the way it looks. It's just such a stunning map. D Machine. I'm gonna put this one in great, just above Firebase, because it's what brought a lot of the community back and new players also. Like D Machine is what the community needed at its most dire point, and it delivered, which is awesome. It's just unfortunate that it didn't like stick around throughout the whole life cycle. I wish it did, but I don't know. I don't know why people didn't. Well, I can tell you why, but that's gonna take an hour. So D Machine, great wonder weapons. It's a kind of a mediocre map, but the gameplay is great. Yeah, I mean, just D Machine, man. The Final Reich, straight into God tier. I love the Final Reich. It's a fantastic map. I don't know. It's in a tie between Spaceland and this map as like the best non-Treyarch map. But yeah, the Final Reich is just awesome. I love the Tesla guns. I love the map itself, the layout, the enemies, except for the that one guy. I don't remember his name with the big club. But yeah, bro, like the map itself is just awesome. I love it. Descent, I have never played. Oh boy, I'm gonna get some flack for this. Call of the Dead, I have also never played. Tagged or Toten, however, I'm gonna put that in meh. The weapons suck. The weapons suck. The only good weapon is the Helion Salvo and the Thunder Gun, which is like you can't. You have such a little chance at getting those weapons that I would rather just not play the map. It's a stunning map, just like Shang, but it's just uninspired and kind of the same thing with all of, like the most of Black Ops 4. I think the Ether story anyway. It's kind of uninspired and not really much to it. The Beast from Beyond, straight in the trash. Again, same with the Tortured Path. I wanted to like this map, but I just couldn't. With all of the kung fu, I don't like it when developers put all of the enemies into their last map and it's just a mess. Like Revelations, I kind of have that problem with too. But the Beast from Beyond is just not a good map. The only redeeming quality, I think, is Mephistopheles, and that's not even part of the map. That's a part of the super Easter egg. So there's that. Carrier, I have also never played. Ascension, I think that goes in decent also. Ascension is kind of like Kino, where it's just a fun map to play with your friends or if you're bored. It's not a lot to it. Let me reiterate something. I'm not really like basing this off of like Easter eggs. I'm not an Easter egg guy. I've done like the Origins Easter egg a few times, but that's it. This is mostly just off of like just how fun is it? How fun is it? Video games are supposed to be fun. Is this map fun? All of these down here like are not fun to me. So yeah, Ascension is just a good fun map right in the middle. Alpha Omega, just trash, utter trash. I think it is one of the worst put together maps in Call of Duty history. Not even just zombies. It's just so terrible. For one, you remade Nuketown. Didn't need to happen. Two, this version of Nuketown entirely was already in Blackout, so people are gonna assume that it's just a cheap copy and paste, right? Three, the color palette sucks. It is awful. Four, they did the same thing with like what I was talking about with Beast with the Nova Crawlers, like just putting in a bunch of enemies in there, and I just don't like it. I've never even bothered to get all of the ray guns. I think that is like the only redeeming quality, and also the fact that you can camp on the right house to the side on the top of the stairs with the ballistic knife and the electric cherry in your modifier slot. I think that's like that, and the ray guns. pretty much it. Everything else, I don't know about that. Attack of the Radioactive Thing. That's not what I meant to do. Go back. Attack of the Radioactive Thing. Yeah. I think the map is awesome. I know a lot of people think it sucks. I actually think it's quite lazy too. But I mean, look behind me, man. I love massive like kaiju monster movies. So like seeing the kaiju off the shore, no matter how bad it looks, it's still cool. And like, you know, shooting the Krogs out from the sky. I've played this map way too much. And don't you say it's Elvira too. I know when you're going to say it, it's not Elvira. Maybe it is, but this, I just think that the map is okay. It's awesome, and I don't know how to explain myself further. Infection, I have never played, and according to everybody else, I may never want to, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Kino der Toten, best zombies, I'm joking. I think it's decent. I also think that this map is overplayed. It's, I think the Black Ops 3 version is much better, but it's just one of those where it's kind of the same thing as Der Riese, but I think Der Riese is just a tad bit better because of the weapon selection. I just think Kino, especially Black Ops 1, is just kind of bland, but Chronicle is beautiful. My first map that I ever played, I remember, you know, going out in the living room at like 6 a.m. on Saturdays to play it on before my parents got up, and like I would be just scared playing the game, you know, when I was like, you know, like 10 or 11, and that was just so much fun. So it always have a place in my heart, but I know what it is. So Ancient Evil, I think, is a great map. I played it to death when it came out. I played it to absolute death, so it's kind of stale to me now, and I'll probably never play it again, honestly, because I did play it so much. Whenever I boot up the map, I know it's beautiful, but I've stared at it for so long, I'm like, okay, I don't want to play this anymore. So it's a fantastic map. Shaolin Shuffle, I think I'm gonna put it in meh, because I think that the only redeeming quality about this is the fact that you can do a God mode glitch on it for keys to you know, spend in at the quartermaster. So like, I think that's what, and like the kung fu moves were kind of cool, but like the kung fu zombies, I didn't like at all. Like I said in Beast, and like the sword and nunchucks were awesome. The map itself, I don't think was the greatest. I don't know. I think it's just kind of somewhat bland, like Cold War as a whole. But anyways, God mode glitch, yeah, that puts it in meh. It keeps it out of trash. Okay, Outbreak from Advanced Warfare I have played, and I'm gonna put it right next to Shaolin because I am tired of facility maps. It's just a bland map. I've barely touched it. I maybe have like 2 hours on it. It's just not. There's not really much special to it, so I'm gonna leave it at that. 5. I'm gonna also put that in meh, because I was always a Kino kid. I never played 5. I did a few times, but when I learned that the Pentagon Thief can take your guns and how close quarters it was and how the Wonder Weapon blows, I was like, okay, I don't know if I want to play this anymore. So I barely touched it. Maybe that's my fault, but yeah, I'll leave it at that. Dead of the Night, God tier. It's an awesome map. The aesthetic, the look about everything is perfect, just like Shadows, but I still think Shadows is better. Dead of the Night is great. It's just one of those maps that I still haven't played enough. I don't think the community has given it quite the recognition that it deserves. And obviously part of that is Treyarch's fault, or Activision, whatever happened there with the release, I don't really know all the details of it. I just know that this map is great and people do not give it enough credit for what it's worth. Raven the Redwoods. I'm gonna put this in decent. Rave is a worse space land. It's I think we're gonna get to space land later. I just think that it's a worse space land. It's not. The Raven mode was cool. The crossbows were cool. All of the guest characters, by the way, in all of IW were great. I mean, like, I think, who was it, Kevin Smith in this map? That was pretty cool. The Easter egg I did once, on my own anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of one of those mediocre maps that I barely go back to, if ever, so. Moving on, we have Origins, immediate God tier. It's between Dryzendrach and Shadows for me. It's right there in the middle. It's better than DE, but a little worse than Shadows. Origins is just such a great map. If you want to go on a map and grind and speed run, even this is it. This is it right there. I mean, there's so much to do, and it's just an awesome map. It's big. There's a lot to it. The staffs are great, better than the bows, I think. So yeah, Dur-Reese. I'm gonna put that in awesome. Like I said, I think it's a better giant because of the weapons, and I think the look of it is a bit better. Yeah, it's just a giant, but better. Classified, I'm gonna put in great. Classified, I think, is better than 5, of course, because it's well, for one, it's a bit more open. Has more weaponry with Black Ops 4's weapons. The Winter's Howl is a bit better, and with, you know, Gobblegums and stuff, or Elixirs rather, it's just a lot more fun than 5 was, I think. Zombies in Spaceland, immediate God tier. Zombies in Spaceland, right next to the Final Reich, is just what you want out of a zombies map, I think. It can be casual and very challenging at the same time, especially if you want to do the Easter egg with 4 players and you got to kill all of the aliens. It is a tough one. So yeah, the layout, the arcade, it's just awesome. I love every part of it. God tier. Okay, Buried is going in awesome. A lot of people say Buried is easy, which, yes, it is in early rounds, but if you start getting up there, it does get a bit more difficult. So, Buried is just such a great map because of the weapon selection. I think the tone of it in like a buried western town is great. The Paralyzer, Leroy, it's just all good in my opinion, but not quite enough to pierce this upper layer here. Shi No Numa, I'm gonna put this in decent because the World at War version is like super broken, and you can get to like around 10,000, I think, is like the highest now. So I mean, that's the only reason why it's up here. So, or else I put it in meh. But because of the bugs and glitches, I think it's actually deserves of this row here. Blood of the Dead. What a letdown. What a letdown this map was. Blood of the Dead, I'm going to put in meh. It's... I heard Mr. T. Alexify say this, and I think I agree. If Mob didn't exist, this map would be okay. But because Mob exists, and it's 1,000 times better than Blood, this map blows chunks. It just blows chunks. The Easter egg, which I haven't done, but I've heard is just terrible. I was watching, you know, like, I think it was like Milo or like JC Backfire play it on launch night, and it was just dreadful, man, completely dreadful. So I just think that everything is just a downgrade from Mob, graphically, in terms of weaponry, maybe except for the Magma Gat, but that's about it. Alright, Revelations, I think, goes in awesome. Revelations is a map that people may look back and hate now, but this is what we wanted when it came out. So it's just a fun sandbox map with everything that you want to be overpowered, whatever you want, on top of the Gobblegums. It's just a perfect map for casuals, and except the Easter egg. I heard bad things about that, but in terms of just raw gameplay, you know, most of everything is from the mystery box, except for like the masks, and yeah, it's a decent map. Mob of the Dead, immediate god tier, immediate god tier. Like I just said, Mob is the better half of Blood. It's just the storyline with the crew that you get is awesome. I don't recall another time where you get to fight your teammates in round-based zombies, so like that was a cool feature for the end of the Easter egg. The map layout is just awesome. The theme is awesome. I love it. Verrückt, I'm gonna put in great. I think the same thing with Mob of the Dead about Verrückt, that it is the theme, the aesthetic, the look of it is fantastic. I just wish that there was more and had Pack-a-Punch and maybe it was expanded upon a bit. Like, I heard that they're gonna like expand upon Shadows for the next Treyarch game. Like, please do Verrückt. It's just hanging on here for dear life. Please, it's just such a great map, and I think that there's so much more that can be done with it. Next is 9. I'm gonna put that right there in awesome. It's an awesome map. Like I said earlier when I was talking about the other Black Ops 4 maps, I think Voyage. It's just. I think that 9 is like the premier Black Ops 4 map. Like Shadows is the Black Ops 3. It's a fantastic map with lots to do. I think that the Death of Orion Wonder Weapon sucks, but whatever. I never use it anyway. I use it to, like, you know, grind camos and whatnot. So yeah, 9 is great. I love a medieval setting when I can get one, so awesome. Mauer der Toten, I'm gonna put that in awesome as well. This map, I think, fit the theme of zombies more than any other map, maybe except for Forsaken in Cold War, and it's just a wonderful map that again has somewhat of a lot to it. I haven't done a lot of the Easter eggs or side Easter eggs on it, but the Wonder Weapon is great. The bosses are fun. I think it's a great map. Forsaken, I'm gonna put right below that at great. I think the map layout is a bit weird, but I mean, it's not the worst we've ever gotten. So I think the aesthetic of it is a little bit better. I wish that, kind of same with every other map except for D Machine, that they had the Dark Ether portion of it, but it just didn't. So I think that would help out these maps a lot, these 3 here, if they had the Dark Ether also and not just D Machine. But oh well. Forsaken, Crystal Axe, one of the best Wonder Weapons ever. Just so much fun. Here we go, get into Vanguard. Duran Fang, trash. Beating a dead horse. It's just garbage. No one wanted it. Nothing came of it. You had to wait months, maybe even half the year, for Pause to come into the game. Like, seriously, pausing the game? But it just wasn't there. Terra Maledicta right next to it. The same thing as Duran Fang, but in a desert. So Shi No Numa, I'm gonna put that in trash also, because it's just lazy and uninspired. You get one new opening where the 115 rock was, and that's it. The Archon's in trash. It's just Terra Maledicta, but with a green tint over it, and somehow looks worse than Terra Maledicta. So there's that. So this is the tier list. This is it. I hope it well, honestly, I don't care if it fits with your opinion or not, but I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I liked making it. So yeah, I've wanted to do this for a while. I'm thinking about doing more content like this in the future. Like, I don't know, ranking, talking about stuff like that. So if you want to hear about that, if you want me to list some more stuff, let me know. I will take it into consideration. Thank you for watching.